Hello BB Gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Omar, and this is Genshin Impact. Today, I just wanted to go around to different locations in Genshin and talk about them. Like, legitimately, I felt the need today. As I woke up, legitimately, I thought to myself, man, like, I really love Genshin. And then I thought to myself about Mondstadt. Like, it just popped into my head, and I was like, man, it's such a beautiful place. And it started me thinking about the other locations in Genshin, all the other worlds that we've been to. And, like, I think to me, like, Genshin is, like, an amazing story with amazing characters and amazing twists and turns and such great character development and all these things. With so many great mechanics and combat things, like, everything is so incredible in Genshin. It's so amazing to me. And then I thought to myself, like, how, like, really my love for Genshin, like, 60% of it really has to do with how it makes me feel in any given moment. And that does come from the story. That does come from the characters that I love. But also, there's a feeling that you get when you enter into a world in this game that is, like, nearly unmatched by most games. Because, again, I've never played a game like Genshin before I played Genshin. It was my first, like, you know, I guess you could say live service game. So to have, like, worlds updated as time goes on is always, like, a really incredible thing. The first place I want to just go to and talk about is, of course, Mondstadt. Mondstadt, to me, is home. Like, even looking at this from a distance, this is such a beautiful place. And it's not just home, it's also the first, like, feeling of discovery in this game. The feeling of, like, booting up this game for the first time, wandering through this area, seeing all the green grass, meeting Amber and Venti and Duvall along the way, there was something so absolutely beautiful about this. And still, when I look at this area, I feel a sense of discovery. Yes, I've, like, been to a lot of locations in Mondstadt. It's probably my most explored area. But there's something absolutely fantastic about the feeling of exploration in this world. There's not many places that feel like home in video games. I feel like it's a select few places that you can really say this feels like a home. But every time I come to Mondstadt, I feel like it is a home. I feel like I look across here at the city in Mondstadt, and my first thought process is legitimately like, I belong here. The people here welcomed me. The location is beautiful. It's quaint. It's, while it's a big castle and a big city, there's something absolutely cozy about just looking at the windmills in the distance. It's such a beautiful feeling, honestly. And as we go over here to the bridge, like, even like this bridge, man, heading over to the city, they did such a good job of designing this place. And they knew this was going to be the first place that people witnessed. They knew this was going to be the place that people would see for the first time. They knew this was going to be the location that you would enter for the first time. And they even knew that you were going to cross the bridge in this fashion as well. They knew this stuff. And I feel like it's such a fantastic way to start the game. Like, look at this. Look at how absolutely beautiful this location is. And I'm a big fan of, like, medieval areas and, you know, historic places like this as well. I come from a country that does have, like, a lot of stuff like this, honestly. But it is such a stunning area. You enter into here for the first time and oh my freaking god, man. Like that tune as well. There's nothing as cozy as coming into Mondstadt. I really feel like they got the idea of, like, a place that is super free and freeing, and they want to be, like, you know, who they want to be. They're just wandering about the place. It doesn't feel like there's any pressure. And sometimes pressure is good in a location. Sometimes the feeling of, like, having a bustling place is super, super good. But that's not Mondstadt. It's different from a lot of locations in the sense that everything feels like it is just, like, go with the flow. Everyone's just kind of, like, wandering around the place, having chats with each other. The business is very, like, centered around people knowing each other and helping each other out. It really is just, like, a fantastic, beautiful location in that sense. That doesn't feel like there's a lot of, like, crazy pressure to this place. And it's beautiful. It's built with stone. I love a stone structure with just gray stone. I'm not going to be doing a commission today, believe it or not. But everything about this place just makes me feel absolutely fantastic. And when we're talking about, like, these locations, I want to talk about, like, I guess, like, locations in general, and less about, like, I guess, some stuff that happened here, of course, because, of course, we have, like, this stuff. This is our first ever, like, story quest. This is our first ever, like, venture into the story. Like, look at this here. Like, just having a location as well that just feels like you could sit here all day. It's truly just such a fantastic thing. Like, I can imagine myself legitimately, like, sitting in this location, sipping, like, a coffee or a tea, and feeling like the most relaxed I've ever felt in my life. And I feel like that's why, like, when Mondstadt was under attack recently, it really felt like that was like a, you know, such a bad thing, because like it was like, man, like, this place is my home. This place is like the sweetest place in the world, and if you're gonna hurt this place of all places, it really does not feel good that you do this. Yeah, I listen to the music in this place, I go into this area, and I'm instantly transported back into a place that feels like I belong. That feels like this is a place that has welcomed me so much. And it is that thing, like, I will always be grateful for the people of Mondstadt for the rest of my playtime in Genshin. And of course, like, we have, like, people we're grateful to and we love in every single region, but these are the people that, like, helped us first. And without any, like, question, really. You know, we had people Amber putting up posters for us. That's why I'll never, ever take Amber out of, like, my top 10 favorite characters. It's never gonna happen. It's never happening. She will always be there because of how special that moment was for us, of her trying to help us out as well, of all these characters trying to help us out. It really is such a special place, and like, even this, like, look at how freaking gorgeous the architecture, the stained glass windows, the shine on the floor. Like, this was the first area in Genshin, and while, you know, a lot of people would say, well, like, they went on and did even better locations, and of course I feel like that's down to opinion, but I never tried to go down there again. I never, like, look at it, like, always, like, in what's better or worse sometimes to me, because Genshin's world feels like such a beautiful, real world to me sometimes, that really I just feel like, man, I have a different love for every single location in this game. And like, one of the areas that really felt like it was, we're not going to be visiting the entire map because that would be crazy, but one of the areas that I really felt was, and I say two areas I would say, that we'd say could really be like, you know, the essence of like why I love this location. First of all, let's look at Springvale. Again, such another cozy location. Feels like it's just so close to Mondstadt. People you know, living their lives. Again, another relaxing location. And then we have, you know, freaking... We're not going to go up on a dragon spine, but... we can definitely look at it from here. Dragon spine to me was like the first time in this game that I truly felt like, okay, this game is, you know... maybe not like in terms of like not difficulty, but it was more like a case of like, there's going to be some tasks here that are going to be hard. There's going to be some tasks that you do in this game that are going to be hard, but in the end you get to see what's so worth it about this. And that's just this beautiful thing in the distance that's always there reminding you of the things that you did in this game. We have the Dawn Winery, but which holy hell. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, what the hell? Such an absolutely glorious location, such a beautiful location, that I feel like I could forever just stand here and look at this. And of course it has a lot of history, just like every place does in Mondstadt as well. But this is what made like this world feel real so early. Like the fact that they just have a winery here in the distance. They have like Dragonspine, which is a location that people don't really want to go to that often. And also this. If we can go over to the Gorge. This blew my mind. And the fact that like I didn't know there was going to be like even crazier locations in this game. This is when I first played it, I knew from here, I was like, okay, this is the game. Having all these swords in the ground, these two trees falling over each other, the beautiful water on the ground too, and it's like little pond, but these swords over here, showing that there was a battle here, or at least some warriors who left their weapons here at this time. Environmental storytelling that really like comes on full display in Mondstadt. It's a beautiful location. And then, of course, you go on to Liyue. It's getting a little bit duskier here, but it's okay. I would say the Liyue for me, like, changed a lot of my perspective on the world, because it definitely showed that there is like a contrast. While it's not like, you know, a gigantic, massive difference, I think that like, you know, on the surface, not a massive difference. But you look at like all the different like bridges that like gap like every single island here, it feels a lot more like people were building stuff here just to kind of like get by and like get to new locations and make it so that it's like almost like a hastily way of like building infrastructure. But like locations like this, and we should probably like advance the time to morning time, because that's when this place truly like pops. It really is. I love that you can see Fontaine in the distance. That's insane, isn't it? Like, that whole time when I was here, I could have seen Fontaine in the distance. I didn't even know, like, well, I knew that there was places in the distance, but obviously it felt different at the time. You eat that up, Fadesa. But Liyue to me really feels like a location that has a lot of, like, water, a lot of, like, mystique and, like, mistiness to it as well. But it does feel like it's a completely new location with, like, different types of buildings. It feels like a lot more like, Like, again, like I said, like people are getting how do I say it? Like people are getting by in a different way. Like people are building different farming stuff. They're different houses, different buildings, and it almost instantly is this like beautiful contrast to like what we usually have in this game. And then like, you know, one of the most beautiful locations ever in this game. And it has like, again, a lot of history in this place. This place reminds me of Xiao. Every time we go here, which is the Wangshu Inn, and we spent so much time here. Just like talking to people, eating the food. It is like one of the most perfect locations in this game as well. And the view that you get from this place is like intentionally absolutely stunning. To be able to look out on these locations, this beautiful, gorgeous world. And you see the mistiness I'm talking about. This beautiful music as well. Such a stunning place too. And the harbor, which is, I would say, probably one of my favorite locations in the entire game. I would say, like, if I'm doing a top 5 list, it's there. But I was very lucky coming to Liyue Harbor, because I came into Liyue Harbor for the first time during the lantern ride. So what I got out of Liyue Harbor was I got a stunning visual of like these beautiful lanterns flying in the sky and getting to cross the bridge into this place as well, with this beautiful, like, you know, vista in the distance as well. I really felt so lucky. Now, I also feel like when I look at this place, it's another magical feeling. While Mondstadt really feels like my home, I feel like Liyue Harbor feels like my, like, workplace that I love. You know what I mean? It's like I love going to work every day. I love coming in here. And I mean that because, like, again, this place is so bustling. It's so, like, busy. And that's not and like we compared it to Mondstadt. Mondstadt being, like, very quiet and, like, very easygoing in a lot of things is a great contrast to coming into Liyue. And again, I always believe these things are 100% intentional, the way they lay out the stuff. This is a place that has, like, business and shops, and people are buying stuff, and people are going around, like, selling off, like, different items, and, like, everything is so constantly working. It's like this oiled machine, and it's almost like this culture that's built into it. The culture that's built into Liyue is that you work, that you build contracts, that you trade, that you build your business up, and everyone's kind of, like, learning in that way, too, where, like, that's how you do things over here. And, of course, you see the boats in the distance where, like, a very, like, it makes it definitely feel like a harbor. You know that there's stuff coming in and out of this this harbor for commerce and deliveries. And we know now, like, obviously, like, they're delivering more stuff to Inazuma now than before. But it is still such a gorgeous place. I feel like, you know, if you talk about Mondstadt, I think of, like, the color green. I really think of, like, beautiful, vibrant oranges when I think about Liyue Harbor. And I guess, like, it is because it has, like, more of, like, the traditional, the traditional kind of like building colors and stuff, I guess, but that definitely is how I feel as well. But it feels a lot grander than Mondstadt. It feels a lot bigger, but it has like a stunning visual nevertheless. Even when you come up here, like, it feels like it's so busy, right? And you know, like, compared to like other locations how they have like a lot of people, like if you look at like Fontaine, there's gonna be so much more people, you know? But it feels like something is happening here all the time. We have the Boo Boo Pharmacy up here as well, which, again, every time we go up here, we know that there's going to be some serious story happening. If we have to go to the Boo Boo Pharmacy, you know something's happening. Like, even these, like, stone steps heading up to, like, the other locations in this world, too. It feels so great. And again, like, I could, like, sit here and listen to the Liyue Harbor music for the rest of my life. Like, it's so stunning. It's so stunning. But again, if you're talking about a history of a location, like, I remember, like, everything's so detailed. It's almost like, you know, like one of those TV shows when, like, it's like the end of the TV show and they're walking around the place going like, I've been here. And then, like, almost like a hologram, there's like a, you know, Rex Lapis shows up here, like the dead body of that dragon shows up here in the middle. You know, if I go over here and I look at the bridge down there and I'm saying, you know, I see Zhongli saying goodbye to Hu Tao. Sorry, Hu Tao saying goodbye to Zhongli, even though he doesn't want her to. You know what I mean? Like, just like you can feel that magical history amongst this place, the storytelling stuff over here. Even when we go up here to like Ningguang's place up here, I remember us like going on like a friend date with her. You know, it's really a really fun thing as well. And that's not all that's in Liyue. Like, this is a gigantic location. Like, this is a ginormous location, and like and how could you ever like ever forget like these locations like over here? Like, breathtaking. The fog and the mist like carrying over this place too. You know what I think of when I come to this place? And I think that's what's so cool, but there's like a combination of mechanics and history and story and stuff. Because I remember like collecting those flowers for Xiao. That's what I remember the most. Like even like getting to look at this place over here, but like the mist, like we were above the clouds. It feels like here, and this music as well as it's playing. I feel like if someone asked me to do the entire Genshin story again, I'd do it in a heartbeat, and just to see things like this as well. Like look at that like the bridge is hanging in the distance as well over the sky. There's like a chest I didn't even get over there, honestly. Mount Kong there in the distance too. This is my favorite location to look out on things in here as well. And we're talking about, you know, this location too. There's like vast fields as well. Obviously, as we said, we're not going to get to everywhere as well. But like look at this. Like, and then we like get such a contrast with the jade green locations over here as well. And you can see obviously in the distance there's Fontaine as well. When I think of this place, I feel like a road that's kind of like not traveled as much. I remember even like legitimately running past this place. This makes me feel like a lot of magic at the same time too. But it feels genuinely like, you know, this place where it's like I don't go too often, but whenever I do get to go here, like it's stunning. It's such a breathtaking place. And again, when we talk about like the color coordination or the color coding of a location, like 100%, this feels like a very jade, you know, emerald green. You know, we have the bright, vibrant oranges of Liyue, or yellow, I guess. The bright yellow is as well, like I say Liyue as well. And then, you know, then we have the kind of like grassy green of Mondstadt. I feel like it's a really good color coordination. Look at the mistiness of this place too. This makes it feel like ancient and historic. Like there's a feeling to this place that like a lot of history has happened here, and you don't know what is exactly true, what's a true story, what's a legend. They really knew how to make this place feel like a place of legends, and it really does feel that way, honestly. I think the only other place you could look at, like again, we could be here forever looking at all these locations, but I never even got this. But when I look at the chasm, I feel like the chasm to me is
so nice and warm.
We shouldn't fight these guys. I feel like the chasm to me is one of the scariest locations in the game. I think we always come back here when there's like a serious, terrifying story happening. But there's no doubt that this place is impressive. Like I think that like it's so crazy that like a lot of times in Genshin you're like you think you've seen a lot of things and then they show you something completely different. I feel like this is one of those locations where it's like, holy hell. Like, what have I witnessed here? Like, this is like an insane location. And yes, like it feels like there's a lot of construction going on here, a lot of building, a lot of the collecting of rocks. We saw that below in the chasm too. But this is one of those like times. The same thing with like, I feel like Dragonspine is a similar feeling, where I love a location where it feels like I should not really be here. And actually, speaking of, if we can actually like, this is one of those locations actually for sure, right? Lingju Pass is also here as well. But there's like a specific, the ruins, like this place is so gigantic. But this was like one of the most stunning things I've ever seen in my life. Still to this day. Look at this. The way the water is like so crystal clear here. And this is one of the first, like this one I was exploring like all these places in Liyue. It was absolutely fantastic. No, I'm doing stuff. I am doing stuff. Follow me. Ah. But like you can see in the distance over here as well, is there a waypoint over there? Is. When I first saw these like two statues, I was like, okay, this is like going to be like a very historic, beautiful location as well. Yeah. Such a different energy, honestly, when it comes to this area too. And after that, of course, we went to Inazuma. And Inazuma, to me, feels isolated. Or at least it felt isolated. I feel like it feels a lot more open now. But at the time, it felt super isolated. This felt like its own world, its own place. It felt like we were transported. When I first arrived here and the first person I met was Toma, I already felt like this place was a kind of like a isolated place where like if you step out of line, you're going to get in trouble. And that was what this location was like. But of course, this is kind of more based on Japanese culture as well. When I think of this color, I think of purple. You know, purple is definitely the color association I have with this place. But like, look at like the way that they build their buildings, like the beautiful wood, the banners that they have flown here as well are put up here as well. The red and orange leaves that float here as well. It does feel like it is like a movie, like almost at the same time. Like, this is just such a stunning location. I feel like an underrated location as well. And I feel like maybe, though, when people talk about their criticisms of Inazuma, I don't think they ever talk about, like, how the locations are bad. I don't think anyone would say that, because this is still one of the most the prettiest places. And I think usually, like, you know, daytime is, like, great. Like, if you want to look at Mondstadt, I feel like looking at the daytime is fantastic. Liyue, I think the nighttime is honestly a fantastic way to do it, even though we looked at it in the daytime there. Almost sunset is a perfect time to look at Inazuma. It is perfect. And you know what happens whenever I enter into Inazuma? There's a genuine feeling like this is like a time capsule. It feels like this is like frozen in time. It feels isolated. But whenever I hear this music, I feel nostalgic for a place that I'd been to for the first time last year. Like, there's something about this place that makes me, like, want to go back, like, and I feel like that's similar to, like, a lot of locations. But, like, I feel like, you know, I go to Liyue a lot more than I go to Inazuma. Like, these vast ocean in the distance. Look at the island over there. Like, already I think this place felt way more dangerous than any location we've been to so far. And again, there's a lot of, like, beaches, a lot of, like, a lot of water. The travel between areas is what was always really amazing to me, is the fact that, like, this wasn't, like, you know, a big city or anything like that. Like, you know, and while they had this vast green fields in Mondstadt and Liyue and stuff like this as well, but this felt like it was less constructed. Like, there's not as much bridges, there's not as much, like, thought out locational, like, infrastructure. Like, there's stairs over here, but to get to there, you have to, like, walk along this kind of, like, naturally born beach. It feels like a lot of natural, and they kind of let that happen in that way, too. There's a beautiful fox up there as well. But even the homes here, like, feel different. Yeah, I felt like, I still feel that, like, I when I first came here, I felt that sense of danger, and I felt that sense of isolation. And I'm glad that we, like, in a way, I'm kind of like, you do miss that, like, feeling just because it was, like, a big part of the story. Look at that, seeing the Inazuma city in the distance. Imposing, right? It's imposing. It's, like, towering over you. It almost feels like the Eye of Sauron looking down at you. And again, it is a different feeling now, right? It's still very imposing. But at the time when I first came here, it's like, holy hell, that's kind of scary. And now when I come here, like, I feel like, oh, that's my bud. My bud's up there. You know what I mean? And that's what's so crazy about locations, how they change over time and how the feeling changes over time. A lot of wild bushes here as well, like, very close to, like, locations here. But again, that's something that they quite like here too. I think, like, you know, when I look at, like, locations in this game, there's, like, a lot of things. But, like, of course, the shrine up here, which is such a stunning place. Do we have anything we can, like, do up here? Like, look at how beautiful this place looks in the nighttime too. The beautiful purple leaves. Again, if we talk about memories, like, whenever I come up here, I think of, obviously, Yaimiko, and, like, one of my favorite characters of all time. And I genuinely wish that, like, I could, like, you know, like, talk to her all the time. I don't think I have anything for here. It'd be funny if I did. No. I don't come here that often. But there's such a great history to this place and such a great beauty to this place. And, like, honestly, you know what the best thing about this place is as well? Getting to do this type of stuff. Just, like, dropping down. Feeling like Spider-Man for a second as well. But yeah, everything feels like a lot more, like, it feels like at one point, you can get the kind of, like, the energy of this place that this at one point, like, had all the infrastructure, like, the stone infrastructure was, like, very complete. But of course, over time, with the isolation and caring about different things and the decrees, things kind of got broken down over time, as history does. And it doesn't feel like anyone's attempting to, like, rebuild that stuff, because that's just a part of their history. They know this is part of their history, honestly. Inazuma City. I think this is, like, still one of the most stunning things to ever look at when you come in here as well, right? And honestly, again, like, I'm gonna, like, cheat a little bit as I have been doing, and we're gonna go to, like, near sunset, and like, just the visuals of this place blow me away to a crazy degree. They really do. Maybe that's not even near sunset. What I'm doing, that's just daytime. This is near sunset. Right? This is legitimately near sunset. Yeah. Yeah, I think Inazuma looks the best near sunset. Like, look at this. There's music here playing in the background too. It's very, like, mystical in a lot of ways. It's very, like, fantastical in a lot of ways. It truly does feel like there is a, like, I don't know, like I said, when I first came here, there was, like, look at the petals on the ground, too. Such a stunning place. Yeah, like I said, when I first came here, this place did feel suffocating. It felt, and intentionally so, it was meant to make you feel like you can't go anywhere, that you're not like, welcome here. And it's crazy now that like I feel when I come here, it's like the opposite. I feel like this is a place that's trying its best, and the Raiden Shogun is trying her best to make this place feel more, welcoming and better than it used to be. And we do get that idea. And again, you have like the beautiful use of wood here. Like the buildings that they built here are so different from Liyue and Mondstadt. It's such a different location, like in such a vastly like vast contrast. There's like Renova. It's stunning. It really is. And again, like I said, whenever I go to these locations, I see like holograms of like things that we did here. I think of us like walking down from here, and the world shaking around us, like the gigantic, Raiden Shogun trying to attack us up there as well. Like, look at even the gold plating on these buildings. There's such an attention to detail in this world, in this place, that it's actually, like, so incredible. Another really unbelievably impressive thing to me is, like, just wandering through the rebellion areas in this game. Because, like I said, there's not really like a big gigantic infrastructure of terms of like travel and stuff like as it would be like in, and like Liyue has like these, like they have roads and stuff like that, but I feel like everything is like way more naturally built. But as you see here, like they made like the separation of the rebellion and the main forces feel real. Because you could, because I feel like if the world was any different, it would be like how is the rebellion like not just getting destroyed every day. To travel to the people of the rebellion, you have to travel through like some crazy terrains to get there, and that's why distance is so important. And they do scale so well in this game too, because it makes it feel like you have to like work to get to that location. Like look at all the travel you have to do. There's like scary locations. This place used to have, like be zapping the hell out of us, and it really is like a true separation of forces. And there's a location up here that still is so beautiful. Yeah, this freaking, that's actually beautiful, isn't it? It's so beautiful. The ship in the distance. And it's one of those things, yeah, you can go there and it's still beautiful when you get there, but there's something so magical about looking at it in the mist here across the ocean. It's so pretty. And then you have like the absolute history here with like the serpent's head and like the separation here as well. This is insane. This is insane. In each world we go to, there is like history throughout the entire world. I mean, like if you go to Mondstadt, like, there's history everywhere. And like one of the, the examples you get to talk about, again, we didn't even go to, was like the Wolf Den as well. And like, which we could go to later. And of course, Storm Terror's Lair. Mondstadt in general, like the swords in the ground. You go to Liyue, and of course you have the feeling too of like the harbor, like these different locations, like with these statues and these like beautiful like Mount Okong, like where you have like all the and of course I think Mount Hulao as well, right, where you have like some of the Adepti as well. Like there's some beautiful history here. And I feel like, this is one of the locations as well that feels the way too, where it's like you telling me that someone ripped this whole location in half. You're telling me that's what happened? And you get to see this? You get to travel in the midst of like a freaking cut in the world? Absolutely insane. And then like the serpent's freaking maw over here too. I think what's so impressive about this is that they're not just backdrops as well, which sometimes I like a good pre-rendered background. We talk about all the time how we like a good pre-rendered background. But in this game, like, it's about, actually traveling to those locations and feeling these locations, whether they be old or new. Oh, this is where we stopped there was the start of us stopping the storm, right?
Time to roll.
But yeah, this location over here as well, because again, it's a part of the history. It's a part of this world, and there's no one moving this serpent, you know what I mean, this world. You're feeling this forever. You're looking at this forever. It's almost like has its own, like, Wait, what the hell? What are you doing here? I think that's the kid that does the stuff with us, right? The games. But yeah, like history is all the way through. Is all the way through Inazuma. It really is. And we're not even like nearly like, again, we're not gonna look at every single location. Like I said, I'm just trying to get a feel for like how magical these locations are. But yeah, like when we like came up here like and kind of like witnessed Is it up this way or up this way? I think it's this way, isn't it? It's so crazy that everything feels like it's like I've been here like yesterday. Like it's truly a nostalgic feeling. But like look at the banners like this. When I first came here as well, feeling is like my heart pounding. Oh my god, we're going to be like in a rebellion. This is going to be a rebellion of some kind. This is insane. You know, you see all like these tents and everyone's preparing to fight. And of course it's different now because people aren't fighting as much as they did before. But I love that they kept their forces. Right? I love that they kept their forces. I love that it's not a thing where they had to give up anything like this as well. But there's less security than there was before, right? Which I think is a good thing. It shows that things have changed quite a bit as well. And this is kind of like an outpost as well of this location too. And Jesus Christ, guys. It's not even funny. Like, you want to talk about magical feelings? Showing up in this world? I feel a tingle. I feel a tingle in this location. I'm not really a massive fan of like water locations, but the fact that this feels like legitimately like like you stepped into a portal into a you know what I'm gonna say? You stepped into a portal into like a 90s animated film that's 90 minutes long, and it sticks with you for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? It feels that way. It's like remember this location, and every time you hear this music, you look at this location, you get that chill, and that's what Genshin does to you with these locations. They're so breathtaking, and forever they'll be like etched into my mind. Like so pretty. And of course, there's also like down below, I think like, you know, not going to Enka would be a very silly thing right now. But like, this is a terrifying location. It's so scary. When we first discovered this, it's like, it's one of the most breathtaking things ever. But again, I talk about in Genshin how like one of my favorite things is being in a place that you should not be. And this generally takes that like, you know, trophy. Like the fact that like there's creatures down here even is also terrifying. But the fact that there's like this mistiness in this place, you don't know how big it is. You don't know how far it goes. This could go forever. You don't know what's down here. It is truly one of the most terrifying places in the world. Now, obviously I've traveled quite a bit through it now. So I'm less scared about it than I was before, but I think like at the time, and you guys would agree, when you come here first, it does feel like it is terrifying. And even now, looking out in the distance, I'm picturing like a gigantic monster somewhere in the distance. There's something else there. The mystery of this place is not done. We've explored like a lot of the places on land. What is down there? Like ecosystems are everywhere. Animals are everywhere. There's something down there. You know what I mean? There is something in that space down there. Legitimately so. And that's what's absolutely like terrifying about a location like this, that you just don't know. You really just don't know. So again, we're not, I hope it doesn't say we're like seem like we're gonna be going absolutely everywhere. But if you go to like Sumeru, right? Sumeru to me like is a vastly beautiful green area that has been a big part, I think, of like, you know, why I truly like love Inazuma. Sorry, not Inazuma, Sumeru, is that it has like this beautiful like, you know, animated film feeling to it. Like it feels like a cartoon in a way, but not in a bad way. You know, it feels like I'm watching like, you know, like an old like cartoon from like the 70s or something like that, and it has this like really unbelievably magical feeling, this Ghibli feeling that really does feel absolutely fantastic. This is one of the most natural and overgrown places in the world, but the fact that people live on these locations makes it even more special. The fact that there's creatures just down below and there's like avoiding it just by living on these branches is so freaking cool. This is where we met Kale for the first time. But I think what's so cool about this location is that it is overgrown as heck. This is overgrown to a crazy degree, right? There's like this green, beautiful nature to this. You know what I mean? And that's what's so cool about it. But like the overgrown part of it feels like you could trip it any second, but you wouldn't exchange it for the world. You know what I mean? Like how there's so many vines and there's so many like different trees. I could not trade this place for the world. The fact that every single quarter feels like there's some sort of like magical thing happening. You know what I mean? It feels like there is like a, I don't know how you would say it. It feels like almost like a storybook in a way. It feels like it is kind of like a story you would tell someone, or tell, you know, your kid, like this, like tell me about Sumeru again. Like the beautiful greenness of this place and like the wild nature of this location is something that cannot be overstated how absolutely gorgeous it is. But it has like a lot of memories here too. When I step inside of a Sumeru, I think of family. I think of my found family. I think of Sino. I think of Kale. And Sumeru City. Oh my god. You know what's so weird about Sumeru City? This location, I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, not in terms of like look. This place, it's kind of like the academia. I've always had a bit of bitterness towards this place. Whenever I come here, I feel kind of like a bit like unwelcome here, even though it's changed now, I know that. But at the time, I just felt like I wasn't supposed to be there, but in a worse way, you know? It's like I'd never really like felt comfortable going up to the academia. But I think that's such a strength of this game too, the fact that they can build a location where like I enter into it and I feel like people are looking at you, you know what I mean? It's like one of those weird things where like there's like this weird like it's like I've been to college, you know, but there's one of these like weird academic things where it's like, oh my god, like this feels super weird, you know what I mean? It feels super like weird. But then you go out to these areas and it really feels like, you know, and does this seem right when I say this? And maybe you guys would agree. I look at like the food, I see the food here, I see the steam coming off these areas, you know what I mean? I see the beautiful lush greenery, the very wild greenery inside the city, and like I think of like smells almost, you know, and even though I can't smell them like legitimately, but imagine like wandering through this place, you're smelling the beautiful green wildness of these locations. The food is like so like beautiful to look at, and so you know, like even like look at this here, like these like I guess they're like skewers as well. Like I can just feel, I can just like smell this location away. It feels so beautiful to just like wander through this location. And again, another place which felt kind of scary at the time, but I love, yeah, you see the different like cultural stuff as well, and then you see that in kind of like every single world we go through. But it's obviously present here in Inazuma, in Sumeru City as well. The locations in here are absolutely vast and wild. They really are. Look at this though. I think what sets Sumeru apart from other locations in this game is the Aranara. Oh my god, the purple in the sky. It's so gorgeous. I think one of the things that like really blows my mind about the Aranara stuff is that it started off as a quest that you wouldn't even like suspect that it was going to be huge, and it turned into like this, for me, a 16-hour epic. Look here, they are, look at them all. They're such beautiful creatures. And it became something that like made me bawl my eyes out towards the end. So when I go back to this location as well, this is another place that feels like home. Like I feel like so comfortable here with the Aranara. I look at these like the onion thing in the middle here. I like see like the beautiful reflection on the water. All these creatures that like are so pleasant to be around and so happy to be around you. That knew your sister, that have so much history with this place. And I feel relaxed, comfortable, and also feels like I'm looking at a painting almost. Like that's how absolutely beautiful this place really is. It's like such a like, I don't know how you would say it. It's like such a like, it's such a wonderful feeling knowing that these creatures are here, knowing that at any point I can come see them. They are literally like my rock of Sumeru. And I'd always like stand by that too. And like speaking of like other places, again, we could go to like so many locations, and I'm not going to go to every place, but like I think like you know, if we didn't go to Port Ormos, like I probably would be like you know, destroyed. This is another place that feels like it is a part of the culture. There's like a lot of trade going on here. Again, I don't have like fantastic like happy memories of this place all the time, but there is some like place. The first place we met, I'll hate them. It's the location where we like solved a freaking murder and stuff. Like it's a pretty crazy location. But I really feel like they did such a good job of making this place look like it's alive. You know, this is a place that feels real. You wander around this location. And again, there's a lot of places, like we talked about that with Liyue, how it felt really real as well in terms of like its trade and stuff, I guess. It really feels like, you know, everyone's like, is like, you know, getting ready to do their job. There's like different like even the boats we're seeing here in the distance are like right beside us as well. It really feels like everyone is getting ready to like work and do something like really, you know, how would I say it? Like do something that is like to make either to make money or to, well, yeah, to make money. what else would you do a job for? It really feels like trade is like really lively here, and everyone has like a purpose here. Like even this, like look, there's someone like working on this box over here. Someone ready to like to sail out as well. There's people having conversations on the dock over here too. There's people standing at their stalls, and like this place does feel like it is colder than other places in Sumeru, but that's to be expected because there's a lot of like wood and stone. But I think what they got so right with Port Ormos is that there is a feeling of liveliness. There is a feeling of like energy, and it feels like it's if you're someone who is looking to trade and someone looking to like really get the most out of like your business, you go to Port Ormos. And the music here is stunning too, isn't it? It's so stunning. There's obviously the woods here as well. There's Parastia as well, and we of course we have the Varnar areas is here also. There's so many locations. How have we not gotten this yet? But when I think of like the desert, right? It's kind of crazy to me that with the desert, this is a location that like again felt like it was so separate from Sumeru, and now it feels like a part of Sumeru. It's a beautiful location, so stunning, but it felt very harsh, and it still is very harsh. You have to be careful if you're going out in the desert in Sumeru. But what this place reminds me of is like, you know, our first meeting of Sino and... Excuse you? If you want to talk about like an impressive location, the Mausoleum of King Deseret. Like, we already heard the stories about King Deseret, but like how imposing this place truly is like such a fantastic thing to me. Like you hear the stories, you hear about all the history of this place, and you hear how harsh this place can really be, and it is harsh in a lot of ways. But nothing can prepare you for what you're about to see as you go up here. Because I feel like it's one of those situations where like I was legit just like, oh my god, this is such an impressive place. Oh my god, this is the Mausoleum of King Deseret. It's so cool. And then when you get here, look at this. Terrifying. This says beware. This says this is a history that you don't even understand, buddy. Almost instantly striking fear into your heart as well, you know? Intentionally so. Letting you know that like whatever is about to happen here, just know that it's not something that's totally welcome. You know what I mean? That you're not totally welcome here. And again, it adds to that harsh place. And look, you can see the tree in the distance there as well. When we go to like other locations, I feel like we never even talked about this as well, like how imposing, like and beautiful and impressive, like these golems being here as well are. Like to me, it's like a feeling of like history as well, like something like really, really, you know, from the past, obviously, like, and it's just like thrown like or thrown in front of you like this in like such an impressive way. Like, and the fact that you can like literally just go on the top of these things as well is so legitimately cool. So legitimately cool. Like, this is insane, right? Like, when you truly think about it, this is insane. That they even let you do this. And, of course, you have the sandstorm in the distance as well, which, again, is something so impressive to me also. And I feel like that's how you get to, like... This isn't a Pep's look... No, this isn't a Pep's location at all. How do you get to, like, a Pep's location again? Oh, it's here, isn't it? No, that's not it. But still, wait, no, this is... Wait, you have to fight a Pep again? Yeah, but still, like, this location here is absolutely fantastic as well. Like, everything it's, like, in the Sumeru Desert feels ancient. It sometimes feels terrifying, but then you find true beauty amongst all those feelings. I feel like it is, like, one of those things where, like, it is harsh. Like, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, oh, you're wrong for thinking it's harsh. And I don't think it's, like, the people. I think it's, like, the location is difficult to get to. We've had our characters, like, literally, like, get heat exhaustion just going through here. We saw that with Tanari. You know, this will happen. It is a hard place to traverse, and there's some really ancient things that there's like traps. There's like things that want to keep you away from the history of this location. There are places like that. But once you get to those locations and you get to all the danger, you see some of the most beautiful places in the world as well. And speaking of beautiful places in the world, how could you not like look at like locations like the Oasis? I think so fondly of looking at like locations like this. Like, how beautiful is this? Like, and it's one of those things as well, like we said before, like how like the green here amongst the desert as well, just feel like it's a magical like location that like, you know, you were able to like appear in front of. But like locations like this is like what makes the desert so special is that it's not just like this this harsh land, and it can be itself, because I think deserts themselves can be really pretty. They're not my favorite locations, but they can be very pretty. But like this is definitely like a contrasting area as well. And I think the location that I definitely like would like to look at here is around here. I believe this should be close to the tree as well, right? Maybe not? No, the tree's over in this direction. Again, I literally, after I left So Rush and all that, like oh my god, look at that. Like, and I love this stuff is like permanently on the map forever. You know what I mean? It's never gonna go away from the map. Never. The music is so beautiful as well. Oh my god, that's journey music. That's like you've been on a, that's like adventure movie music. It's so perfect. It's not Tsungi Hollow. Whereabouts? I think it's literally this, right? Yeah. Yeah, and this is another permanent change, right?
Nice and warm.
You eat that up there, Veressa.
Nothing like the warm sun on a full stomach to make me feel like taking a nap.
Like the blue branches, like you know, wrapping around the other parts of these branches too. But like also like just like how beautiful this location is. And this is one of those things that like you see this in the distance and it fills me with like energy. Like legitimately does. It just like that mission we did, Good and Evil, that led to this. I spent like around 7 hours on that mission. I legitimately did. And it's so funny that I came out of that mission. Like, of course, like I played like 7 hours of a mission. You're gonna feel a little bit tired afterwards. But now every time I look back and it's like, man, I could do that again tomorrow. Just knowing how beautiful this location was, talking to So Rush, who's one of my favorite characters in this game. But this is the energy for it here. And honestly, you don't really appreciate how beautiful this is until you're like in Fontaine and you look over in the distance and you see this. And it fills you with so much like pride of the stuff that you've done, because that's what happens in like a lot of these worlds, and it happened a lot in Sumeru, the desert as well, where like you got to change things for the better and see that change on the map. And there's something so amazing about that. There really is something so amazing about that as well. It's so cool. It really is so cool. Moving on over here to the first time like we ever saw Fontaine. Breathtaking. Like, this is one of the best reveals of a location ever. We saw this in the distance forever, and I think that's what's so good about Genshin. In the distance forever, I saw this, like, waterfall. I remember, like, you guys saying, like, oh, just wait. You know what I mean? It wasn't even spoilers that you guys were doing, but it was more just, like, because you guys weren't going to tell me what it was. You were like, because I knew it was going to get here eventually. But you guys were like, hey, just wait for a second. This, I talk about, like, how Mondstadt feels like my home and how the R&R village feels like my home. This feels like one of those locations that you go to for like 3 months out of the year, and it feels like unbelievably like, you know, comfortable and homely as well.
Watering,
but I would say that
fertilizing the soil, making sure the temperature is right. But most importantly, you have to keep the fruit in a good mood.
You tell them. I think that like when I think about Fontaine, like, I think it is just one of the most like beautifully magical locations in this whole game. There is like such a like beautiful culture and energy to this place, like the music, the locations, the art. Like it really feels like a very artistic location as well. Like even when you travel to like areas like over here, and like, yeah, there's a lot of history here as well, a lot of broken down stuff as well. But like, it feels like the air is like really beautifully, even though like for me, I think that like, it's also like, you know, people said it's very humid here because of all the water, which it would be. But it feels like there's so many like beautiful like locations here that even if it was very humid, it feels like I can relax here to an amazing degree as well. Like it's such a gorgeous place to visit as well. Every location, and see, that's what I mean. See the tree in the distance? Every location here, no matter where you look in Fontaine, is a painting. No matter, you cannot look any location. Even if I look, watch this, even if I look directly into a corner. Okay, buddy. Okay. Like, it's all a painting. Everything could be a painting. The beautiful waters here in the distance as well. It's just one of the most stunning locations in this entire game. And I think, like, it was one of those things where, like, you know, people built it up a lot in my mind, but, like, it lived up to, like, a lot of hype as well. Because a lot of people are like, hey, you're going to love Fontaine. It really is, like, such a magical place. And I truly agree with that. Like, there's locations here, like, you know, when you look at the, like, this here, for example, is it's its own, like, dragon. Like, the head of a dragon is over here in terms of not a dragon, of, like, the creature that once lived here, Elnas. And this is scary, but at the same time, very, very beautiful. And you see, like, Fontaine City there in the distance as well. too shallow to dive here. This, to me, was something I didn't even know about when we first did it, by the way. I think it gives it its own personality, and I feel like that's one thing they aim to do with every single world you go to, is like give it its own personality, and we felt that with Natlan as well, as we go to that next location after we go here. But like, the fact that like I'm underwater in this game, in a game that so far has like made swimming the thing where like, you know, you have to be kind of afraid of, like traveling over distances really is like such a special thing as well. Is like the Fontaine waters are very different. They're very different. And like even looking at the surface here, and this is something that I talked about that when we first played this game, and it's something that you guys agreed with as well. Fontaine underwater doesn't feel scary, because I'm afraid of underwater games. Like I played Subnautica, and it was terrifying. Like I played Shadow of the Colossus, and like the seventh Colossus to me is still one of the scariest things, and I still find it hard to like, you know, truly fight it sometimes, because it is so terrifying. But they made this place, and I think it was intentionally so, they made this place so magical, and it feels like just a wonderful world that came out of like a movie or like a play or something like that. Like it feels like a stage play, this whole thing. It feels like you can really like grow attached to the locations here. And the fact that you can swim through a location, for me, someone like me who is terrified of the underwater, to be able to swim underwater for hours on end and still feel very relaxed and calm, like that says something about what they did about these locations. And the music here as well. So gorgeous. It gets me kind of emotional when I think about it, but like, we'll never be able to go into these worlds for the first time again, you know? And that hurts. But that's what things are like. That's what games are like. You're never truly gonna be able to experience something in the same way ever again, you know? It's so beautiful. And speaking of just like absolute beauty, you know what I mean? Like the beauty of a location, the beauty of a world. I think that one of the craziest places that we ever got to visit here was Fontaine. And actually, like I think the court of Fontaine looks better during the daytime, so we're gonna go daytime. And it's not that it looks bad at the nighttime. I just know like the experience here is so fresh and modern. And I said the word modern doesn't have to be a good or a bad thing. It just means it's different, right? Like look at the outfits here as well. Even though these outfits aren't quote unquote modern, but like for this game, they do feel very modern. There's a feeling of like very high like artistic culture here, because it does feel like more like artistic than a lot of locations. They focus a lot on like the idea of fashion and movies, and you know, getting their point across through stories and plays. Even though again they have stories in every single world, they have their own culture in every single world. Like if you go to Liyue, you're going to get some beautiful singing and storytelling as well. If you go to Mondstadt, you know, you're going to get some great poetry and bards, you know, singing to you as well. At least one bard will sing to you. But like I feel like this is like very like, you know, the closest thing to like a modern place that you could really find here in this game. And like the gold and the blues, like it really does have like this really beautiful like magical energy to it. It feels like a play. It feels like it's its own movie. It really does feel this way. And traveling around the city of Fontaine, does it feel weird to say that like even though it's so beautiful, there's like a sadness in this place as well? Where I feel like they've gone through so much here in such a terrifying situation, that this place never truly felt happy to me, you know? I have some happy memories here. I met Navia here. I met, like, you know, the House of the Heart people, you know, like I met Farina and Nouveled and all these characters, you know what I mean? You meet all these characters that make you feel happy, but there's still a sadness to even those characters, you know? I feel like when I think of Fontaine and I think of this place that we're in here now, which is so gorgeous and so pretty, like the colors are so vibrant and the place feels so modern and it feels so fresh and it feels like you could travel here forever. I think it's also okay to say it, and maybe you guys would agree. And maybe it's like so appropriate that we're standing outside at Fremene's house as we say this. There's a sadness here, right? There's a sadness here from all the things that happened here. And again, I'm not saying other worlds didn't go through things like, Jesus Christ, look what Sumeru had to go through, you know what I mean? 100%. But I feel like, you know, Fontaine in a lot of times wears its heart on its sleeve in a lot of cases. And I feel like, you know, their tears are on full display a lot more. They kind of like, I don't know, there's just something interesting about this place. And I think it probably is because this place feels so like modern and like, you know, fresh in that sense, that there is this thing where like, it's melancholic to me. it's like a contrast of like what like it should be. Like you should be going through this place being like, oh my god, and it is like that's like a magical, oh, coffee, you know, there's like clothing stores, there's fashion, there's plays, there's movies, there's stories, there's actors, there's celebrities. I think because of that you know, wild energy of this place, there is like a contrast of like when you think about the sadness of this place, you can't truly fully like enjoy all of that to the fullest because it's always, to me, masked with a sadness. You know what I mean? Everything is masked with a sadness in Fontaine. And that doesn't make me hate this place at all, this beautiful music as well. In fact, it makes me like love this place even more because I connect to this place emotionally. I wander through Fontaine and I feel like a sadness. And it's maybe the music is very like emotional as well, of course, too. But like it's the fact that like I think about like all like you know, and again the way I say it, like the way I'll put a pin in that, because I think I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. It feels, because this place is so modern, because it has so much artistic like beauty to it, and like it's very like you know, very grand, and it has a lot of performances, and they love like, you know, keeping up appearances, and like how, you know, things can look so beautiful, and how like they can like, decorate places and all this stuff. They love that type of stuff, and because of that, it feels like it all is like masked over like a sadness, you know? It really does feel that way to me. Like even like the coffee shop over here is beautiful as well. It's such a stunning location as well. If we're going like around Fontaine, there's like a lot of places you can visit that like are absolutely stunning as well. I think like this place over here, like the lake, again, a permanent change that we made to these locations that are absolutely gorgeous as well. So stunning. Like the countryside as well here is absolutely gorgeous too. You know what I would equate it to? Like, if you look at all the locations, like, there's a sadness in like, say, Sumeru as well. But I think the sadness in Sumeru, like, is covered over with, like, this found family thing. But I think the sadness here, to me, it feels like, I don't know, losing someone you love or something. You know what I mean? It feels that way, because there's so much loss here. There is so much loss of people and stuff like that. It really does feel that way. And an absolutely gorgeous location as well. Yeah, like a lot of like the locations here in Fontaine are just about being like very magical and very beautiful. There's like a port over here that's absolutely gorgeous as well. Like, and I don't want to make it seem like, you know, the sadness like makes this place not fun to be around, because it is like such a beautiful place regardless. The Opera Epiclese. And I feel like this has like the most history as well. And I feel like you know, it's like one of the prettiest locations ever. It really is. And over here as well, we see like the dancing robots here as well. The mechs.
Hurry up, Brassa! Gotta steer clear of other people.
Do you guys feel that? Do you get what I'm saying when there's like a melancholic feeling to Fontaine? You know what I mean? It's like beautiful but melancholic. It feels strange. You know, it feels very, very strange. Honestly, it does. And I think if like you're talking about like strange feelings, I don't think you can avoid talking about the Opera Epiclese in general, because of like how much things like went down here. This location, like to have like, it's rare in Genshin to have like, and honestly the entranceway here is absolutely fantastic too. When I first came here, it was absolutely magical as well. But like it's rare in Genshin to have like one location and one room have so many scary things happen in it. You know what I mean? Like when I look at, again, this is where we met Navi for the first time. This is where history was made. We met the greatest character of all time. Like, look at this as well. I nearly started crying when I entered. I got the feeling in my throat when I entered in here. This is bad memories. You know what I mean? And again, I want to make it clear, I enjoyed every second of Fontaine. But I hope you understand when I say, like, you know, it's about the emotional connection you get here, too. Like, there was a lot of sadness that happened here. Amazing moments. Like, again, there's good memories of, like, oh my god, how fun this was and how incredible the trials were. But, like, this is a horror movie, and sometimes. You know, this is a horror movie when it came to this place, you know? What was happening with the you know, there's so many incredible moments. The narwhal coming in here, you know, child getting, you know, found guilty. Farina and the big, you know, the unveiling of her and the big, you know, when they tricked her into coming here as well. Even the moments of Farina, like, it felt like, again, everything was on stage and everything was on display. And I think that's what it is. It's like, you know, your life is in Fontaine is not hidden. You don't have privacy in Fontaine. And this is a perfect example of that. And I think things have changed now, of course, but Like, how imposing is this? You're about to go to jail, possibly. And you have to look out on this crowd as well. Yeah. And I want to make it clear, even though like this place is like melancholic, this place is sad, this makes me feel very like, you know, there's a lot of bad memories in this location of like, you know, sadness and, you know, anguish of characters. I can't help but like look at this place and think it's one of the prettiest places ever, and it's also the first place like we got to really get to know Liyue in a way too, you know, and we teamed up with Navia to beat some people here too. It's truly a gorgeous location. We could, you know, spend our time traveling a lot around Fontaine. There's so many really beautiful locations. I think, like, you know, you could, but I think the Fortress of Meropide definitely I want to look at as well. This was, like, such a creative place. The fact that, like, this location even exists is so impressive to me. And the fact that it lasted, like, it was, like, 2.5 chapters, right? But it really sets apart, like, a lot of things in Fontaine to a lot of other places in the world. Like, the fact that you have, like, a prison in here that's all about rehabilitation. What happened? I know you can set a focus for that thing, right? I know you can set a focus for those things. I know you can. But it's just my one thing I would love in Genshin is just to not have, just do what, like, and Honkai does this too, and like other games do it. Like, have me just walk up and talk to people, you know what I mean? It would work way better. It really would for me. Yeah. It just is such a contrast from the rest of Fontaine, and it does feel like it is like it's a scary location at first, and there's like a lot of really awful people down here. But I had such a good time exploring this place and getting to know this place, and coming out the other side of this place, like with a lot more knowledge on Fontaine and the history of this place as well, like was really, really important to me, honestly. There's like so many locations. There's so many locations. The Ordo, like over here. Like, come on. Like the amount, the world quest of these locations that hit. Oh my god, there's a picture over here. Oh yeah, everything's destroyed now because we went down below here. Oh my god. Whoa, yeah, oh my god. Remember, like, we came around, it was like almost like the weirdest like Avengers meetup you've ever seen in your life. Go deeper. Can we just go deeper? We can. Yeah, it's so impressive to me as well. And I don't know, like, what other locations we can go to that were, down below, I suppose. That's where one of the bosses that you fight as well. Because I know there is, like, other locations, like Rumeria and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's, like, here. The Faded Castle. You can just go here? Like, so stunning. And this is one of the things that, like, happened in Fontaine as well that I found to be so impressive as well, is that, like, I feel like the world quests, like, really they set the tone for world quests of, like, what they could be in Inazuma. Then, I feel like in Sumeru they did the R&R quest, which is such an impressive quest. And then, like, I feel like they had some of the best world quests ever, that they had up to that point. I think so anyway, when it came to this stuff here. Like how the fact that they built this location and it's hidden away in, like, and I say hidden away because not a lot of people do world quests, but the fact that you get to go to a place like this, and again, it has so much history to it. I see the holograms of all the people of Rumeria and stuff, I guess, when we look down here too. Such a magical, stunning place also at the same time, playing music down here. It's absolutely beautiful as well. And it's not just like areas like this, like if we, like, we can go out here, right? And see, like, the bridge up here as well. Again, this is what they do with underwater areas. They make them some of the most beautiful and magical locations in the whole game. Like, look how stunning that looks as well. They're not fearful. They're impressive and imposing. They're not something that makes me want to, like, scream and cry. They're something that makes me, like, legitimately want to, like, you know, explore more. I feel like that's such a good thing they did with the Fontaine locations as well. Wait, is the whale down below us? No way. Up above us? There's no way, right? It's still here? There's something on the map floating around the place. It's just there. Oh god, wrong button. It's literally just there. Scylla. Yeah. No, it's just, it's such a stunning location with so much history as well. And the music also at the same time. And we have to go, honestly, to the last location we're going to, guys. And again, I haven't visited everywhere. I know that I haven't visited everywhere, but like I wanted to kind of like just do a general visit here as well. Natlan. I have this feeling about Natlan that maybe you guys feel as well, but I don't know. It's instantly nostalgic for me. There's an instant feeling of like, I would love to go to this place again. And maybe it's because like the place where I caught up to Genshin was Natlan. And we got to like, you know, it was also the first place where I got to do a quest with you guys that was like up to date, I suppose. No, well, I guess you could count Lantern Ride too, but you know what I mean? I was in the world of Natlan at the time, I guess. Or, no, I was about to go to Natlan, right? Yeah, so that's a lie. we did the Lantern Ride before we went to Natlan. The music here, the culture here as well. The way that they integrate the Saurians into this world too. But I think what sets this apart so quickly in this location is like the graffiti on the walls, the kind of sandy red color of the infrastructure here. You know, the high up locations, how each like they do this thing in this place where like each like kind of like location has a different like culture to it, like and its own culture. Like if you go to the Scions of the Canopy, like things are so high up and beautiful as well at the same time. Now again, can I say this is another thing where it's like, just like any location in Genshin, like I feel weird when I come back here because while it's like I feel nostalgic for this place and I want to go to this place again, this is absolutely gorgeous location. Like I don't care what anyone says, Natlan is beautiful, it's stunning, it's one of the most beautiful things in the entire game, it's one of my favorite places in the entire game and I'll love it for the rest of my freaking life. But like, I remember the people that like were dying in front of us here, you know? And that's horrible to say, but I do. I remember the people that were dying in front of us. I remember the pain and anguish of that too. Like, there's no escaping that. But I think that the horrible things also make like the really beautiful things even more beautiful as well. And again, you see like how this place is so high up. Oh, the music as well. It reminds you of like Rabbit Astra music from Final Fantasy 12. And I mean that as a compliment, by the way. I love Final Fantasy 12 so much. It's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. We have the people of the springs. Such a fun-loving place, and you get the energy of fun here, right? Natlan has like a lot of fun to it, and this is definitely like the energy of like an unbelievably fun and beautiful place. Like I can't get over how like, and again, I might look at this during the daytime because I do think that like, this place looks best in the daytime. Like I really do. Yeah. Because this place definitely, I feel like you can feel like the heat on this location and how hot this place is, but also feel the relief from like, you know, looking at the water and it kind of feels like a cool place as well because like everyone's kind of like in their, well, most people are in their kind of like shorts. Like the music is very fun and like energetic, and it feels like you can just let your hair down here as well. Like, I find this place to be so magical, really, honestly. It's so beautiful. There's Mulani's shop as well. Oh my god, man. I came here for the first time, like, what, back in, like, was it January when I came here for the first time? I think so, right? It was February or January. And, like, almost instantly, like, this place feels nostalgic. This magical, beautiful oceanscape, the seascape, this kind of like very beautiful place here, you know? This is my man now, taking him. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And like you hear the music in the background, it has this laid back style to it, which is so different from the Scions of the Canopy and the Children of Echoes as well. We have the Masters of the Night Wind, which I think is like one of the most stunning locations of this entire game. And again, it reminds me of Citlali almost instantly, which is my favorite, you know, Natlan character. But, like, it's also just, like, an unbelievably gorgeous location with, like, so many vibrant colors. Like, the colors in here as well are, like, they almost feel, like, otherworldly, you know? Like, the purples, the bright, like, kind of, like, beautiful pinks and blues that contrast each other so well. And revisiting here for, like, quests recently, we did for the Dane quest as well. It's such a treat, you know what I mean? It's one of those things, whenever I warp here, I get this instantaneous feeling of like, oh, I get to see this location again, you know? And it's one of those locations, you know, where it's like, oh my god, I get to look at this place again because it's pleasing on the eye. The colors are so beautiful for like this world. Like, look at that. I could be here forever. I legitimately couldn't. And it's not just also just about Citlali. It kind of is about Citlali as well. Like, I wish I could see Citlali every day. Natlan's main character. It's not just about that. It's about like the tradition that they have here, the culture that they have with the graffiti and the food and the music. And it's also different between each tribe, but all tribes are coming together. I like even like painting the bridge. It makes it feel so different from every other world in this game. We had like the flower feather clown, which I think like is very like, I know no one take offense to this. I feel like it's like, at first glance you're like, oh, it's just like a bunch of like, you know, wood. And it's like high up like in like kind of like a for like flying ranges and stuff like that. And then you notice the color differences as well, and it feels like there's like lots of like wings painted everywhere. People are wearing different outfits as well. There's a lot more like hats, like hunting hats and things like this as well. There's Saurians like here that are meant for flying also at the same time. It feels like it is like a very like a place that's built for flying. It's a place that's built for people for flying. So stunning. So stunning. And I feel like one of the most impressive things that this game has ever done is the Collective of Plenty. The fact that like not only does it have its own new culture as well with Vanessa here, she's here in this place too. Like you have this wrestling stuff here as well. Vanessa is into wrestling also. At the same time, you have a place that's really built on like, not just, I want to say this, it's not just built on the idea of like, oh, you have to get stronger and more powerful. It's also a place that's built on like support for each other. It really is. It's another beautiful location with a lot of like beautiful different styles of locations. Like there's a farm over here as well, like a fruit farm that you can look at. I think it's actually down there, like with like different fruit and vegetables over there as well. They have their own like kind of like building structures as well with like some beautiful paint also at the same time. And it's actually the farms over here. But I think one of the most impressive things about this world is like, it's not just how beautiful this place is that the volcano can go off at any time and you have to like take cover. And it literally is like this random occurrence, it feels like. We can see here as well.
Running late again.
There it is. Like, this is such a special location to me as well. And I think it's just that it's so special to Vanessa as well. That it's special to me. You know, it feels really good to, oh my god, I love traveling around. Again, traversal in Natlan. I think that like that's one thing again. We had the underwater with Fontaine, but like traversal in Natlan is perfect. Like, it's almost like one of those things where like you get so used to it that you're like, man, I cannot wait to see what type of traversal is going to be in Nakurai. That you want to see something out of it, you know what I mean? You want to see something there at the very least. Her story quest is absolutely fantastic as well. It really was. But yeah, like a lot of the locations here in we've been to every. I don't think maybe we haven't been to every tribe. I think we have. Yeah. But yeah, so many beautiful characters, so many beautiful locations here, and like I feel like they all contrast each other very well, but they always feel good to go back to as well. And speaking of like, you know, beautiful locations, we just were here recently. This to me is a breathtaking, like almost like suffocatingly beautiful location that feels, we talk about places that we shouldn't be, and this is definitely one of those locations. I think, you know, one thing that Genshin does so well, and we've talked this before, the idea that they build up like locations in your mind, and then when you finally get to see them, they're just as impressive as you thought they would be. They're just as impressive. They don't disappoint. And like, you look at someone, you can see like the hilly trail on the ground. We heard about Natlan here and there, right? And we heard about like this location here and there. And then when you finally get to see it, and you see the tree in the distance there again, it is one of the most like beautiful and stunning and impressive places that you could ever get to witness. Even the music is changing the tone, right? Natlan is all about, it has like a lot of fun music with some like beautiful locations, and there's a lot of camaraderie and family and friendship and kinship in Natlan. But it changes when you come to this place. It's like showing you almost with the music, with the location. This isn't colorful. This isn't vibrant. This isn't, you know, a place where people are having camaraderie or fun with each other. This is a terrifying location that there's a lot of history here. And I think even like, isn't it like this place as well? The ancient sacred mountain, like another location that feels like you should not be here. I feel like I should not be here, but I'm happy that I was. Like, not like people can like, again, people not like Natlan. That's perfectly fine. But like, I will defend like how absolutely incredible locations are here to the end of my days. How imposing, how much history is involved in these locations, how gorgeous they truly are. Like, I feel like I got so lucky, honestly, that I got to see locations like this in the game like this that I will never ever forget. Again, some of these are, again, hidden behind world quests. Some of the most impressive world quests ever with Mikey that you'll ever see in your life. But it doesn't change the fact that this is just like this type of place, feeling forbidden, but at the same time can take your breath away. So beautiful. And I think like the only other like location that we can like that I want to, well, we're going here last, but I think that like there's like so many locations you could look at. There's so many underground locations you could look at. But if I'm not mistaken, if we go to here and we go up above, can we travel to that location? Wasn't there like isn't there a way to go up? Oh, that's an Natlan, right? Yeah. This is where I wanted to go as well. And this is just, to me, is just like why I think Natlan has, like, they really like outdid themselves when it came to like how to do like ancient historic locations that have like a lot of like history built into them. I feel like that's one of their aims with Natlan was just like to make sure that we saw these like type of locations and we're so impressed with them. Because even look at this as well. Like when I first entered here, it was breathtaking. When I came here again, now my breath is taken away also at the same time. Some like beautiful like stone structures that feel again very broken down. There's murals on the wall here. It's just really fantastic to like have a game that really respects its own history to the point that they will like always like make sure that like the locations you get to visit that tell you that history are fun to go through as well and are beautiful to go through as well, because it's not like this thing where you're just like reading. You can read a bunch of text, of course you can, that comes along with it, but it's not just that. You can learn through visual and you can get an energy for a place through the visuals of a place. And this is one of those locations. And before we go anywhere else, I feel like, before we end this video, again, I know there's going to be places where people are like, go here, why did you go here? And you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct, but obviously if I went everywhere, I would be here for like ever. I'm sure there's a location I'm going to forget that I loved as well, and you guys have pointed out being like, hey, why would you go here? This to me is one that is I would say put it in a top 5 favorite locations in the entire game. I really feel like this location in Natlan has one of those things where like it's when how do I say it? Like I get chills when I enter this location. I really do. And I feel like what I love about it is not just like how beautiful the colors are. Yeah, we have the red stone and the beautiful paint, but maybe it is like a little bit of like a personal feeling as well. But when I first entered the Natlan, I knew it was my last location before I caught up. So it has this magical feeling to it of like, I'm here, I've arrived. And when I first entered here with like, Kachina, Mulani, and Kanich, I really felt like, we were bonded forever through standing in this location. Is that weird? Like we all stood in this location and we talked about what was about to happen here and like the thing we were about to enter. And this location, just looking at this place and standing in this one spot is a bond that I will never forget with these characters. Like, I remember sitting over here and having meeting Siglali for the first time, and she showed up here, for the first time as well. Like, and that's something I'll never forget also at the same time, too. I'll never forget seeing Ian-san for the first time in the middle of that circle over there. I'll never forget this feeling of this location. It has so many memories, like, strewn throughout it. Look at this beautiful thing here, too. The captain coming through here and fighting Movika. Movika standing up and, like, activating the flames up here, too. The dinners that we had in here, the parties that we had in here. This place is a magical place, and I could never, ever, like, even look at the way the sun shines in this area too. I feel like this is a location that, like, I'm so grateful to. And again, you could say it's probably like a lot of nostalgia, the idea that, like, there's these unbelievably beautiful locations, but it's also the thing, I think, Calvin, where you're probably feeling this way because it was your last place. It's the place you caught up, and I feel like everyone who has a place where they caught up, wherever they caught up, is going to be always very nostalgic for them, And that's 100%. That's totally okay. But I also reserve the right to just say that even I don't think it's just nostalgia. I think this place is so good at building up memories. I think since the beginning, Natlan has been about friendship, and each location, like, and again, you could say that about. I know you could say that about any location. We have said that about any location. I can go to, like, we talked about where we met Navi for the first time. We talked about where we met Toma, and Mavika, and Calais for the first time. We talked about all these locations. I feel like that's one thing that's amazing about these locations, and that's why I love about Natlan as well. I feel a bond with these locations, to these people, and that's like there's people here. I can see like a hologram, as I said, a hologram of the people here. This feels like a last stand, even though we're about to go to Nag Cry. It felt like a last stand at the time as well. It really did. A week I'm home. Yeah, and seeing all the tribes' flags here as well. Did we visit every tribe? We did visit the Children of Echoes. Signs of the Canopy, right? The people of the Springs. We did visit every one, right? If I forgot to visit one, I'm gonna feel so bad. Yeah, Children of Echoes. People of the Springs. Collective of Plenty. Masters of Nightwind. Fireflare Clan. I know how to solve this. Yeah, we have. We did. Yeah. Yeah. This is so amazing as well. But yeah, like, I think that, like, I love that, like, we got to, like, what, like, an hour and 40 minutes of this video, and we're about to end it. And it's kind of crazy that the crux of this whole thing is me saying that, like, yes, these locations are fantastic, but one of the most special things about them is that the people that were in these locations. I think on their own, these locations stand as a beautiful thing, but they hold so many memories and history and beauty to them that it's honestly difficult to not, like, look at them in such an awe-inspiring way, or, like, that they inspire you in a lot of ways. And I would never, ever... I would never ever like feel, how do I say it, there's never a time in Genshin where I feel like anything let me down, you know? And I don't, you know, like, I don't disregard anyone's opinions. I know people had opinions on Natlan and Inazuma and other locations too. A lot of people, like, have their own opinions. That's fine. And you're allowed to have your own opinions. But, like, I've never been let down by this game, and I don't think I ever will be. I'm so impressed at, like, how they write stories, how they build locations, that I know that whatever we see in Nag Cry is going to be absolutely incredible as well. I might find a bench to sit down on, and we'll have, like, a chat at the end of this. If there is a bench to sit down on. Probably not. Oh! Jesus! That didn't happen. Let's say that didn't happen. Let's go to Mondstadt. Sorry about that, Fadesa. I didn't notice her stamina was all down there. But yeah, like, I think, like, you know, I'm not going to talk a lot about, like summarize everything I said here, but I think, like, the crux of, like, everything and, like, the true, like, summary of everything, like, that was here is that, like, these locations have, like, so much history and so much beauty to them, and they make me feel so happy even being here. That I have, like, this... oh, Glory has a mission? Oh, commission. Okay. I find that, like, whenever I visit these locations again, I feel, like, instantly nostalgic, and they make me feel all different types of ways. And I talk about, like, the feeling I get when I come into these areas, whether it be sadness or nostalgia or, like, awe-inspiring, or a feeling of, like, new beginnings, like in Inazuma, or a feeling of, like, a bustling town, like, you know, Liyue, or a feeling of, like, you know, freedom when you come to Mondstadt. I feel like there is, like, all these different, like, locations of what they're able to do for you in these games, and I feel like there's no doubt about it that this is, like, a game of beautiful locations. It really is, like, and even the hidden locations, the World Quest locations, like, this, I hope, like, I feel like also all the time, like, people tend to, like, you know, might think it sounds like very, like, you're a shill for a game when you say this type of stuff. But I don't care. Like, I really don't care, because I say this all the time. Video games are miracles, man. It's a miracle that this exists. It's a miracle that we get to go to, like, all these locations and see all these characters and see these beautiful places and visit these places and get a full feel for them and become immersed in them to the point that, like, you every time you go back to them, you feel a sense of nostalgia. That you feel like you're home. And I always describe going back to these locations in one phrase, and that is, it feels like you're missing home while you're in your home. It's that weird feeling. Have you ever got that where it's like, it feels like there's something, not off, but it feels like it's like a very somber, like, I wish I could come here for the first time again, but it's still beautiful to be here. It's a very, very weird feeling that way. But I love the locations in this game. I think that they always blow me away, and I think it's a miracle that we even get to play a game like this. And are there things that I don't like about Genshin? Of course, I talk about it all the time. Like, there's one or two, like, designs that I wasn't a fan of that I've talked about in the past. There's, you know, I don't like the way that they do dialogue during world quests. I'm not I'm not a massive fan of how, and I know that's been fixed, by the way. So, like, I think about my actually, you know what's crazy? My main critiques of Genshin have all, like, most of them have been fixed. Like, the looking for flowers was, like, such a frustrating thing, and now that's fixed. They show you them on the map. It's fixed. You know what I mean? You can do focus now for missions so you don't get interrupted. That's fixed. You know what I mean? That criticism I have is fixed. You know, I thought you didn't have enough resin to, like, level up characters. That's pretty much, in my opinion, a little bit fixed. You know? I think it's a beautiful thing as well. But obviously, like, you know, I have, like, you know, there's two designs I'm not a big fan of in this game. I've talked about them before. There's, you know, things like, there's, of course, things that are going to be like, oh, I'm not a big fan of that. Like, I don't like how, like, my biggest criticism is the way they do dialogue in the world quest. It frustrates me. It's one of those things where it's like, please, like, pause the game and let me read this dialogue. I know they want the player to move on because the world quests are long. No, I want to read the text, and I have, you know, it's so frustrating having to go by. So, like, it's one of those things where, yeah, there's stuff I don't like about this game, but I still feel, like, very lucky to be able to play a game like this. I still feel like this is one of my favorite games of all time. I think I said I put in the top 5, and it will never leave that top 5, I think, you know, and, like, would it go up or down? Possibly, but, like, I you know, the top 3 are games that are, like, from my childhood and beyond, you know. My top 3 favorite games of all time, by the way. I could do it in a list. I might do a top 10 favorite games of all time list for you guys at some point. But yeah, I just wanted to visit these locations because I literally woke up this morning and was like, I want to go visit locations. I want to go look at places. Isn't that crazy that you just get that feeling, and because it's Genshin and it's so easy to traverse around the world, and Varese is so fun to travel around with, we got to do all that. To put an end to all this video here before I go off on a tangent, Genshin has so much emotion and history and story to it. It has so many amazing characters, so many beautiful big moments and cutscenes, so many great character designs, so many beautiful, gorgeous characters with some amazing dialogue. But at the end of the day, right, all of it was housed within these locations. These locations have memories and feelings attached to them that will forever be important to me. That will forever be something that I will never forget. And it's actually probably a good thing that we end on going over to this tree here, because this is one of the first breathtaking locations that we got to see that I couldn't even believe. It felt like, okay, this is a game for me. All those moments are housed by these places, these locations. You know, just like this place where we look at where Jean, you know, bowed her head down here, or we look to, you know, the location over in the distance where we saw Amber for the first time, or when we cooked with Xiangling in Springvale over there. We looked to Liyue where a child, you know, dragged us away before we got arrested. There's so many memories within those locations, on the stone steps, in front of a wooden house, in front of a lightning-filled island, in a summery, beautiful location like Fontaine. There is memories in each step. And I don't care if that sounds sappy, it's just the truth. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting this series all the time. Coming up very soon, we have 5.8, which is coming out, so we'll be doing a lot of stuff with that as well. In terms of, like, wishing, I actually haven't, like, wished in a while. And I'm going to be honest with you guys again about character leveling up. I'm going to be, I've said in the same thing in the Hoyo video, Hoyo, what am I talking about? In the Hoyo video, I said the same thing in the Honkai Star Rail video. And that is the fact that, like, how do I say it? That I haven't gone to level up a lot of characters that I want to, because there's been a bit of a heat wave here, and believe it or not, it gets, like, hotter, like, during the evenings sometimes, because the sun is, like, shining and it's going down, and, like, it can be pointing directly at you in some ways. So, like, I get to a point during the day where, like, I just don't have the energy after I record for the full day to, like, do some, like, to play most games. I'm just like, usually I'm just, like, lie there watching YouTube. You know what I mean? So I haven't gone to level of characters in weeks, really. I really haven't. But we'll get back into that at some point as well. Not that I need to like explain anything, because you guys are like, yeah, whatever, just do whatever you want to do. But there's lots of characters I want to level up, so I'm sure, and also I know for a fact that you guys like seeing new characters and seeing new teams and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much to my patrons at the highest tier of YouTube. Thank you so much for being so awesome, and thank you so much to Tyfire 2, Jamie Bull, Janet the Banana, the Ghost of Inazuma, Felicitas Felix, Yuld, Radish, Anusta, Death Trap, Lynx Markey, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Selson, Heck, Leon, High Kasparian, Jared Beenham. Did I say every name? I always get worried. Tyfire 2, Jamie Bull, Janet the Banana, the Ghost of Inazuma, Felicitas Felix, Yuld, Radish, Anusta, Death Trap, Lynx Markey, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Selson, Heck, Leon, High Kasparian, and Jared Beenham at the highest from my YouTube Royal Game of 7 in Blasco, and I'll see you all so soon. Bye bye. Vanessa, do the thing.
Yeah, look out.